Okay, so I'm here with the second installment of Storytime. For those of you all that do not know, we are reading the White Trash Etiquette. So, the second forward, on account we couldn't afford all of the first one, so we had to put this one on layaway. Anyways, I raised them kids right, taught them all my worldly knowledge, like how to hotwire snowmobiles and poach deer. By junior high, they already had their own scams selling my used hustlers to fifth graders for $15 a pop. You might say they were born entrepreneurs. But then I got to figuring the kids needed one of them feminine presence around, someone to teach them the fineries of life, like how to cook a decent pot pie. So I got hitched to Marcy. If a guy was being charitable, you could say Marcy is a fine-looking woman, kind of a female John Goodman, only with more facial hair. But me being the sensitive kind, I can say with a true heart that it wasn't looks I was after. Sorry if I drift a little ways. Nope, I first got to sparking with Marcy when I seen her win the wood splitting contest at Lumberjack Days. She had the muscles of a beer truck driver, which meant I could branch out into stealing sofas on account of them hide-a-beds is damn heavy and you need a partner with decent pipes. Marcy was a Christian woman. She never used the Lord's name in vain unless she was drunk or shot herself with a nail gun. But she wasn't partial to my thieving ways. So we up and moved to St. Paul, Minnesota, where the jobs was good. I got me working handling cargo at the airport. It wasn't a bad job. Outside of the actual work, I was making union money and got free steel toes. It was also good for stealing luggage. If there's anybody out there needing a set of those Corinthian leather Samsonite with fruity wheels at the bottom, give me a call. Everything's priced to move. But like most decent trash, me and jobs ain't a good mix. I got what you call disillusioned, which is fancy talk for saying the job sucked. I wanted more from life than stealing suitcases and sleeping in cargo holds. I wanted some of that enrichment and reward like they always talk about in infomercials. So I did what any God-fearing white trash would do. I faked a back injury. So I was dipping my beak in the sweet nectar of workman's comp. I convinced the old lady that we should move to Green Bay, where fishing was better and the insurance guys wouldn't try to videotape me butchering moose when I was supposed to be laid up. But they say in them Hallmark cards, life has a way of ramming a shiv in your neck sometimes. Next thing you know, them pointy heads from the state says I gotta join one of them retraining programs. So I got to enrolling in the White Trash Studies program at University of Wisconsin Green Bay, known by academias as one of the finest colleges that got a hyphen in its name. 11 years later, out comes Dr. Vern Edstorm Esquire. Now, most folks ain't never seen no white trash doctor, especially one who got an Esquire on top of it. You might say I was a celebrity pretty soon. People was coming from near and far to get answers on all their important questions, like what's the classiest whiskey for bringing to a job interview, or how to rob a super America when you done lost your gun. I got to feeling so good about helping people out, I decided to start posting my helpful advice wherever everyone in town could see it, so they could all learn a little bit of class, which is why I hung the letters up at the racetrack. Pretty soon, people started reading them and writing more letters back. I started getting letters from all over the country. I was like Dr. Phil, only you could trust what I got to say on account of I didn't wear no candy-ass suit. Problem is, Marcy ain't the kind of woman to impress easy. I hate speaking ill of the woman, but she was putting on airs. If I was such a celebrity, she got to say, and why was we still living in a shack behind the post office? I tried explaining all the scientific advantages to the family estate, like the fact that it had a sunroof on account of the part over the kitchen done collapsed in a blizzard. But Marcy can be real persuasive, especially when she uses a busted hockey stick to make her point. By the time I got out of the hospital, I was seeing things her way. So I gathered up the brood and says, "Brood, we're going to the homeland of our people, the parish of white trash nation, Cleveland, Ohio." I was fixing to become the world famous author. Now, most folks know Cleveland is your epicenter of the white trash literary scene on account of it's got lots of abandoned buildings, so a guy could shack up in some solitude while contemplating his latest works. I figured since I was already giving people my scientific advice for free, I'd just make up some new crap, turn her into a book, and it's what you call your valuable public service. See, most of your self-help these days getting written up by dainty guys always squawking about their saturated fat. But there wasn't no help for decent trash. So you got important questions like how to make your 14-year-old cousin pregnant, or who you should kidnap if you're aiming to impress a woman. You think you're going to ask Dr. Laura about that? Her face would explode and her makeup would catch fire. Pretty soon you would burn down 11 states, but you still don't know who you're supposed to abduct. Me, I was figuring to help folks rise up from under the viaduct, teach them a little etiquette, and get them a little class so they could do better robberies, get themselves more marriages, and start living the life of luxury and a nice double wide where the heat always works and the cupboards are always filled with liquor and ammo. You might say I was just giving something back to the community. And if you ain't buying that explanation, here's a better one. I got 8 or 10 kids. Seeing as how Marcy's built like them ore boats on the Cayuga River, the smart money says she's good for a half a dozen more. So if you don't buy my books, I don't get no money, which means 8 to 10 kids is going to be loose on the street stealing your car stereo. And any moron knows a book is cheaper than a car stereo. That's just good financial thinking. Dr. Vern Ed Storm Esquire, Cleveland, America. So from there, the next one I will go through the acknowledgments, the author's notes, and I will actually start in the introduction. So far there's 2 forewords to this book. I got a little bit further when I started reading it the last time, and then it kind of fell off. And I know I've been a little late to get this posted because I've been wanting to do these once a week, but life just has a way of doing things. So yes, this is going to be done, and if you feel like you lose something from video to video, you can always go back and watch them and get caught up. This book's really funny, and if you can find it, mine's a little trash. I definitely suggest that you pick this book up. I have another book waiting for me to finish this book that I've already looked through and is hilarious. And anybody that is a UFC guru who remembers the very first Ultimate Fighter and who Forrest Griffin is, you're really going to like this next book. It's kind of a spoof comedic book on how to prepare for the end of the world. Absolutely hilarious. I love Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. They're both badasses, and Forrest was always a hoot anyway. So I was really excited when this book was given to me. Anyway, I hope you guys are able to actually find this book. This was actually, I think, in the free section of one of our local used bookmarks. So I don't know why you'd be able to give this book away. It's absolutely a gold mine if you find stuff like this funny. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I don't know how known the guy that wrote this is, and I want to give him credit, and I want to get more people looking him up and finding his work because he is a genius. I've already read this book and it's amazing. Anyway, thank you guys. If you are new here, like, comment, subscribe, turn that little notification bell on, and share. I'm not asking you for much, just some time and a little click here and there. Love you guys.